Just to start out, give you guys just a couple of injury updates. BC with the knee, we're going to obviously have to run some more tests on that. Did not look good to me, but unfortunately we lost him for the rest of the night, and we'll make sure we get him in to see our doctors, and he'll make the trip back with us, and we'll get him evaluated as fast as we can. But unfortunate, he's had a really good training camp and done everything we've asked of him at multiple spots. So very unfortunate there. Jalen Naylor was evaluated for a concussion. He was about done for the night anyway at that point, so we'll see where he's at. And then T.Y. McGill with a right ankle, and then Troy Dye kind of re-aggravated something from the scrimmage from the other day. I give Troy a lot of credit for going tonight, knowing we'd be down at some numbers, especially at that position. I told our team I really wanted to try to win that football game. I really did. I thought, we knew numbers-wise would be tough at some positions, but wanted to, really come out and establish the run. We really feel good about our O-line depth. We feel good about our depth at running back with Kane and Ty, and I think Kobach's had a good camp as well. So we really wanted to establish that. We were able to run the football in the first half, I thought, with some pretty solid efficiency, got some good movement up front. And just didn't turn it into enough points with, kind of some missed opportunities there in the pass game. But overall, the physicality our offensive line played with was solid. The depth, as we kind of lost some linebacker and had some issues pop up throughout that first half. At one point we were down to just William only playing with our 5 down, big grouping with one backer in the game. Luckily, BA was able to come back in and finish that for us. Special teams, huge positive. Greg Joseph doing exactly what he's done all camp, knocking it through a couple times. I thought the operation snap and hold by Ryan there was really good, and then Ryan's 2 punts obviously inside the 20, including that massive hit that ended up, I think, down there on the 2 or 3. So really positive for special teams tonight. Would have loved to score on that 4th and 5 at the 5 to take the lead. Just got to go back and watch that one. Felt like we might have bailed out a tick early, maybe stand in there and make a throw. But, this league is very difficult on 4th down. In those got-to-have-it situations, sometimes you got to give them a better call than I did there. So we'll go back and look at that one. Across the board, though, the effort, knowing we'd be limited tonight, was absolutely fantastic by our guys. Really wish we could have got them the win. But as I told our team, tough 48 hours is ahead for all of us. Guys are going to make us make some real hard decisions, but when we're able to get through those days, our preparation begins for an opportunity that I'm very excited about on September 11th at US Bank Stadium.
Kevin, on Nick Mullins, did you just figure he just got here, it was just too early to maybe throw him in, or what?
We knew, he's done everything we've asked of him. He probably could have handled playing. Guy had a lot of snaps in those 2 games that he played for the Raiders, so it really wasn't a matter of getting him some time or preseason time. He's done a great job acclimating already, so he was really up as our 3rd emergency quarterback if we needed him. But I didn't want to throw him out there just yet. We'll continue to kind of talk through how that depth chart's going to look behind Kirk, but thought Sean did some good things in the first half, and really we were a couple plays away, a couple drop balls away from Kellen putting together maybe a really nice night, and then obviously we just couldn't get any momentum there on that last 2-minute drive.
Kevin, did the injuries tonight just kind of underscore the approach you've taken in this entire preseason in terms of resting guys?
Yeah, I know our fans would love to see all of our players out there. I cannot wait until we get our full group of guys out there. But we do practice very, very hard, and we evaluate our roster on a daily basis. We constantly stress our guys as part of a plan of attack to have them at their absolute best on September 11th. I feel like we're right on schedule to do that. But, yeah, anytime you lose players that have had the kind of production and productive camp that BC's had, for example, that sticks with you. And I'm crossing my fingers we get some good news there for sure, but I do think it underscores just no matter what happened tonight. I know we didn't win a game in this preseason, but as of tomorrow morning, all those records are going to be 0-0 with 17 games to play.
With BC's knee, is that the same one that he just came back from?
I cannot confirm that. It was when I went out to see him, I was more so just checking on him and making sure he knew I was right there with him. So I'll confirm that for you guys tomorrow.
You touched upon Ryan Wright as a punter. I mean, what do you think of his night tonight, and is he won the job? Are you still going to look at the waiver wire or what?
I think he had a great night tonight, and there was a reason why we made the initial roster move we did, because we wanted Ryan to feel like he could come to this stadium today, have his mindset that I'm the punter, I'm going to be the guy, and what could he do to further kind of enhance the positive feelings we have for him. He hit 2 good punts, and the operation on field goal for both of Greg's kicks were pretty darn good. So he only enhanced himself with me. I still think, going back to JB, I still think JB had a good camp, and that's the necessity. We had to get down to 80 guys on the roster for this game. Although we end up not playing a lot of folks, they still make us go down to the 80. So that'll be a definite conversation. But I was really, really pleased with Ryan tonight and really responding to kind of the situation we put him in.
What do you think about the way Asamoah came back in the game and the way he's kind of handled being the caller of the defense?
Yeah, that's unique now when you have really 3 linebackers up in the game that all could end up with that green dot. I just give BA a ton of credit. BA is going to be on our football team. He knows that. We know that. He's done everything we've asked. He's had a phenomenal camp for a rookie in this league. Showed up time and time again, flying all over the field, and really for him to be able to overcome that kind of early injury and then be in there for the duration. It speaks to a lot about what's inside BA and ultimately what makes us so fired up that we got him and have him on our team.
The sack, fumble, touchdown. What happened on that play?
They won before the end of half? Yeah, what I saw there was we got beat on a TE kind of move there on our left side where really the tackle's trying to occupy and then the end's going to come underneath. Got beat pretty clean. Sean's trying to get ready to check the ball down. We coach real hard to have 2 hands on it in the pocket. I think he was getting ready to try to check the ball down to the back, and it's just, right place, right time for them. Just hated that because ultimately I wanted to get the 2-minute drive going to try to have the opportunity to maybe double up right there, not give them any momentum, see if we can end the half with the ball in points, either field goal or touchdown, and then come right back out to start the third quarter. And really, we weren't able to do that, although we were able to get the field goal op at the end for Greg, which I thought was a couple nice throws by Sean there after having the strip sack. But obviously would have loved to avoid that turnover, especially for points. That was a killer.
What did you think of the showings of Mannion and Mond, and how do you look at them as Tuesday's cut down date approaches?
Yeah, I think, kind of as we've evaluated them throughout training camp, those guys have had some positives that really, bled over to their game, their game performances, and then some things that, we've talked to them about improving in certain areas, all across the board of playing the quarterback position. But I thought Sean, for the most part, he ran the show. Got us in and out of some great plays. Some of those run hits that Ty Chandler had, that's Sean making a check at the line of scrimmage, getting us into that play. And then obviously a couple of the throws there to put us in position to obviously get points there at the end of the half was big. And then obviously when Kellen came in, we just could not, early keeper. We had a chance for Nick Muse there. Ball ends up on the ground. And then, obviously Tristan had a chance at one there. After making the great play Tristan made at the end of the half, to kind of get us in field goal range, there was, we had him on the high cross pretty open there, and just couldn't quite make that play. That group was, kind of the theme of that group in my mind for preseason was we were so close to just really, you think back to the Raider game, you think back to the Niner game, we're just one play away from triggering a drive, but we just can't quite, get all 11 on the same page, get all 11 doing their job enough to apply our pressure that we want to apply to the defense. And that was kind of what was the third quarters of a lot of those games before, we got some momentum there against the Raiders in the first one, but not good enough. I got to coach better. I'm going to be coaching these guys all the way down till they can no longer be on our team. And the guys that are going to be here, earn their way on the practice squad or on our roster. They're going to get our absolute best as a staff every day because we still have to get a lot better. Feel great about where a lot of our roster's at, especially our first team groups on really both sides. I feel great about some of our depth along the offensive line and running backs groups, and then ultimately we got to really figure out how our special teams depth is going to look once we can put together that game day roster. But
one more for me. And Ed Ingram not playing and Jesse Davis playing at the left guard, is that an indication that Ed Ingram has won the starting job at right guard?
It's been trending that way, but I thought Jesse did a lot of really good things tonight, especially early. Jesse's worked through some kind of little nicks here throughout camp as far as little tiny things that as a veteran player we wanted to make sure when he got his op to truly compete like he did tonight. I thought he did some really good things. That first group that played for us tonight consistently, you think back to the Raider game when we got the run game going a little bit in that game. Early on against San Fran, able to kind of churn out some plays and really the physicality when we're targeted right and we've got all 11 working, it's a beautiful thing because you start seeing that removal up front. And that's those guys getting connected on those combinations and moving people, down the field, and our backs doing a great job getting north and south. We could start pairing a lot of things off that. The marriage of the run and the pass comes from that. But ultimately, when we can get that run game going, that's when our offense is at its best.
Kevin, with your wide receiver depth specifically, kind of how difficult are those decisions going to be considering the injuries that can kind of cloud some of it and just what you've been able to get out of that group? So.
Yeah, I think, JJ, Adam, and KJ really gelled together in that first group of 11. That's why I'm so disappointed, about BC and like I said, have my fingers crossed that it's going to be some positive news in some capacity because he's earned a right, in my opinion, to be on our football team. So if it's something that, physically he's unable to do that, we'll love him up and make sure that whenever we can get him healthy, he'll be back ready to go. I think Jalen Naylor's had a really strong camp, had some real flashes tonight, I thought. Of positive momentum, and then just the rest of the depth of that with Amir and Tristan and obviously Myron. We didn't get to see a lot of Dan Chisina. Like, there's still some real quality behind those guys, that first three, that we're going to have some hard conversations about. We really are, and look forward to kind of having those and getting on the same page with Quace because we've had some dialogue already. I'm so excited to obviously not be releasing players, but the fact that we get to go in and it's Quasey and I having that dialogue like we've had from day one. It's going to be a smooth process, and then we'll be right there side by side delivering that news to those guys. So not going to be a fun 2 days, but nobody I'd rather go through it with than Quasey. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys making the trip.